Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. Taking a quick look here at BLZ. We're going to talk a little bit about some chart patterns here, head and shoulders, as well as a rising wedge. We're also going to discuss key time frames, higher time frame support and resistance levels, and just some things to really be paying attention to. Because right now we got the most amount of volume accumulation at this level here, roughly where the price action is stabilizing, about 11.3. So we got to respect that. That's where this line is coming from. It's a key level Fibonacci retracement level, but also a key support based on volume. And there's a tremendous amount of volume here in the most recent past. We'll talk about that again here soon. So I want to thank you very much to Ami or Amy. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly for requesting BLZ. Again, if you're part of my Discord, we have a free community here. Awesome, decent, different resources that you can use to become a better trader, right? But the key takeaway here is you can submit a request if you want. If you want to become a part of our premium membership, we have a summertime sale discount right now for both premium and premium plus. You can see we already took some profit, 43% from Bell here this morning. So good stuff there all in all. And again, you want to essentially keep yourself abreast of anything and everything cryptocurrency. It's all available here on my Twitter and of course Telegram if you prefer that as well. All right, so that's kind of what we're looking at here for BLZ. So let's talk about one of the better, well, I would say better, but the more important thing to kind of recognize here. Again, we got volume. Let's talk about that because to me, volume is the biggest, more important indicator you can use to become just a little bit more aware of what's going on. And as we can see previously, we have some decent volume accumulation here at about 11.3, but more so recent. I mean, if you take a look at this most recent time frame, right? Look at this. We got 2-week period here roughly, and we've averaged ourselves at about 11.4 in volume. Okay, so our volume profile tells us, hey, we got the most amount of volume at 11.4. The second most amount of volume is down here at about 5.8. But look at this. It took a full, 2 or 3 months almost to accumulate that same amount of volume that we have seen in the last 2 weeks. So that tells us a lot here, right? That tells us that this is a key level support, and if we lose that, we could see the price continue lower. But for right now, we're actually looking to be in pretty decent shape. What we want to look at as well as some moving averages here. I drew this ascending trend last time I covered this because we are ascending positively with a 20-day SMA. Okay, so with us continuing to hold above that, that's a very, very good sign at this point. We want to be able to maintain that if we can. So ultimately, we are on the right side of the tracks for the most part here with this coin. We can see our RSI is staying above 50 and our MACD is starting to slow its momentum to the downside. So we could very well see a shift in momentum to the upside here soon. Okay, so again, looking fairly decent. Holding this level is very important though. Anything below 11.3 I think would be potentially hazardous. Okay, so I'd be a little cautious if the price comes down much lower than the $11 mark, because then we'd be losing that support level. We can also pull out the Fibonacci retracement levels here and kind of see as well. We're right in that sweet spot at 0.618 to 0.382. That's essentially an area in which the price action will typically consolidate. Okay, so we're right in that center consolidation zone with a volume profile. It's looking pretty good. And again, I get the question a lot, hey, why is this not dropping? Why is it holding so strong? Well, mainly because of volume, right? We have so much volume at this area. It's a very, very good thing. Okay, so again, awesome stuff there. Let's talk a little bit about the 4-hour time frame here. We don't have much of an overextension. We're pretty much going sideways and consolidating. We're consolidating above 50 on the RSI, which is positive, and we're still converging on the MACD here. So truth be told, the 4-hour time frame looks pretty decent. Let's see if there's any patterns we want to pay attention to. When I talked about this at first, we do have a head and shoulders, which has a tendency of effectively coming down as a result of just defining its right shoulder, right? So in truth, the price should continue lower from here based on that pattern. Now, I don't love this pattern. I think it's kind of ugly. Truth is, this rising wedge is a little bit more beneficial. And with us kind of creating these higher lows, essentially, in the most recent 4-hour time frame with parallel highs, that's a good sign. Okay, so that's going to give us a potential breakout to the upside here. More likely than not, it'll go up than down based on that sentiment. Again, slightly larger head and shoulders pattern, but I'm still not sold on that one. So truth be told, with all the momentum and the volume profile there, it would make less sense for the price to regress from here than it would to continue higher. Again, we probably need to build more volume at this level because that was a previous resistance level too. I didn't touch on this very much, but you can see here that we've got this basically a double top here, for lack of better terms. And that's a strong resistance zone. So it does have trouble crossing that 11.3/12 cent mark. And I think in this case right now, BLZ is it's here to stay, but we need a lot more volume to be able to maintain the price above this level. And just taking a quick look at the volume too, you can kind of see here that within the last 2 weeks, again, most amount of volume is coming in here, but we are now below that moving average. So we need to get back up above that to ensure that we are on the right side of tracks. So again, I honestly wouldn't take a long or a short right now. If you're in profit, I would consider setting a stop loss in a realistic setting, depending on what your risk tolerance is, and making sure that you work within your means. But for lack of better terms, we're not looking terrible here by any stretch. This coin does look like it's going to sustain and continue higher. On the hourly, we don't have much to go on here either because we're fairly range bound. So each Ichimoku cloud is pretty much it's less significant at this time frame, so you can kind of see it keeps wicking up and down. Kind of just these little fits that don't tend to break out or don't hold yet. And same thing with today's sequential. We don't have any overextension either. So we kind of have to rely on higher time frame analysis essentially to understand where it's going to go. And right now, the trend is sideways and more potential for slightly upward direction, right? We want to continue to maintain this trend line, and we want to stay above the 20-day SMA on the daily. If we do lose the 20-day SMA, just note that the second most relevant indicator would be the 50-day SMA. So unless the price continues to ascend here positively, we're going to be in a situation where we may potentially break bearish. Okay? And again, when I say break bearish, I don't think we're going to see the price drop out, because again, there's a lot of volume in this range. With volume in that range, there's a strong chance that the price won't continue lower because there's a large amount of volume accumulation there, and people feel like it's good average true range. Okay, so the ATR right now is basically 11.3. If we drop below that, there's a decent chance we might see a slight fizzle down to 0.786, maybe the 9.5 range, but less likely to see 7.8 or lower. We can take a quick look at liquidity too. Obviously, there's some liquidity up here that needs to be swung up. So a lot of times you'll see the price action retest that level and then come back down. That's the double top you want to watch out for. We're not there yet, but it would make more sense for the price to start progressing up towards 15 than it would to start coming down. Again, there's slightly more reasons why the price action is more likely to increase than decrease. Okay, so again, my money here is that we're going to see a retest of the 15-cent range before we potentially even come closer to the 7 or 8 cent range. Okay, so I think upside seems slightly more probable at this point. All right, I hope this makes sense for you. Again, join us over on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Help us grow our community. Greatly appreciate that. Welcome to all the new members. We got tons of new people coming over here, and it's a lot of fun, Hey, we're having a party, and it's a good time. Be sure to jump on in there and get engaged with our community. We got some really cool traders there. And, of course, you can communicate with myself and some of my really strong traders, too. We have some really, really good trades going on. All right, thanks again for joining me here. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.